A very good evening and welcome to this week's last edition of Primetime News with me, Salima Shimwe-Feleni. Leading tonight's bulletin, President Dr. Hage Geingob early this morning flew to Zambia to attend the state memorial ceremony of the late Kenneth Kaunda, Zambia's first president. Kaunda died on 17 June 2021 in Lusaka at the age of 97.
Geingob's departure was announced by the Office of the President. He will join fellow leaders at the memorial service to be held in Lusaka at the National Heroes Stadium on Friday. Kaunda will be buried on 7 July 2021 at the country's presidential burial site. In his message of condolences shortly after the announcement of Kaunda's death, Geingob said, Africans at large and Namibians in particular shall eternally be grateful for the late Kaunda's stellar contributions to their freedoms. He described Kaunda as a generous, affable man who had resolute commitment to the freedom of Southern Africa. In appreciation of his contribution to Namibia, Geingob declared a 7-day mourning period with flags lowered.
Doctors in the National COVID-19 Task Team have warned against the usage of Ivermectin, saying it can lead to hospitalization and even death.
Local physician and specialist Dr. Ishmael Kachitai, who is part of the task team on Wednesday during the 30th COVID-19 briefing, narrated that patients with critical condition and severe side effects due to intake of ivermectin are increasing, posing another health hazard. Dr. Kachitai explained evidence from those who have been admitted after a period of using ivermectin pose more serious health conditions such as kidney failure and other health conditions. Dr. Kachitai warned that people should refrain from using ivermectin, stressing that the belief that the medication can prevent or cure COVID-19 is not proven and is misleading and false.
We do see patients who have actually been taking ivermectin, who have actually ended up in hospital, who have ended up in severe disease, and we do see people who have actually ended up losing their lives as a result of that. To give people a statement or the belief that if they take ivermectin, this ivermectin will actually prevent them from developing COVID, or they will even developing them once they are being in the hospital, it will treat them, it will cure them, is a completely misleading statement.
Similarly, emergency medicine specialist Dr. Kavetu Sikuvi, serving on the team, said mostly people who have taken the medication seek hospital attention after 2 to 3 weeks in dire critical condition, which leads to death upon arrival or shortly after admission, noting that in some cases people are dying at home.
The Social Security Commission on Thursday donated an oxygen-generating unit to the Ministry of Health and Social Services to complement the government's efforts in fighting COVID-19.
Handing over the donation at Windhoek Central Hospital, Social Security Commission board member Kailiki Sihlatla said the oxygen-generating unit was procured at a cost of over 2.8 million Namibian dollars and has a maximum capacity of 370 litres. It has 2 oxygen plants, with one plant having a maximum capacity of 200 litres and the other 170 litres, and it will be placed at the COVID-19 isolation unit at the hospital. The entire system is installed in a containerized solution, which comes already equipped with insulation panels, a ventilation system, a filtration system, as well as an electrical distribution board. The machines also come with the basic accessories for the delivery of oxygen therapy and, if well maintained, can be used to save lives from other diseases in the long term after the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister of Health and Social Services Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, who received the donation, said the number of hospitalizations has skyrocketed in the last 4 weeks, exerting pressure on the capacity to admit patients in both public and private facilities. Therefore, the demand for oxygen has particularly acute, and the suppliers have struggled to cope with the demand for oxygen.
Former governors of the Hage region have expressed dismay and disbelief over the death of Ovambanderu Paramount Chief Kilius Munyuku Nguvauva III.
Nguvauva on Thursday morning succumbed to COVID-19 related complications in Gobabis, where he hailed from and where he worked intensively as a politician, educator and traditional leader until his demise. He was 64. In Nguvauva, former Hage governor Festus Wetile has lost a mentor and the man who groomed him. Nguvauva, Wetile said, made the ground fertile for the latter's political career. Waitile, who was governor between 2013 and 2020, was at a loss for words to describe the magnitude of the loss to the region and the Ovambanderu community in the death of the late chief. To Beatrice this, he said, Guvauva always tried to unify people and make sure there was peace. On her part, former Hage and current Khomas region governor Laura McLeod Kashira described Guvauva's death as a hard blow to the Ovambanderu people, Hage and the family, which she is also part of. Current Hage Governor Pionganeto joined his predecessors in grieving, saying Guvauva was a paradox and a fierce opponent in any competition who would fight with every tool at his disposal.
Stand by for your top roundup. And now a look at the latest business news. The government's rural electrification project underway in the Tumkwe area of the Otozonjupa region is progressing as planned.
The construction of the power lines to connect the Tumkwe constituency to the national electricity grid near Grootfontein was officially launched in November 2020 at Mangeti Dune by the Minister of Mines and Energy, Tom Malwendo. The project is funded by the ministry under its rural electrification program at an amount of 35 million Namibian dollars, while the Central North Regional Electricity Distributor, Seneret, is tasked with constructing power lines of approximately 117 kilometers from Marula Boom near Grootfontein to Mangeti Dune for now. Seneret's technical team, accompanied by its subcontracted experts in the debushing activities on Wednesday, visited different sites to establish the progress of the project. The team was headed by Seneret's Executive for Engineering and Network Expansion, Sylvester Waiti, who told Nampa the electricity poles mounted in the ground cover a distance of 45 kilometers. He said they are really moving and progressing well with the construction activities, and for now, they are sure to complete the project by November this year as planned. Most clinics, mortuaries, schools and police stations in the area for now use solar panels and diesel power generators as their source of electricity.
Namibia Wildlife Resorts has received 199 submissions from local influencers interested in participating in its first ever social media influencer program. The initiative is aimed at creating awareness of its facilities amongst Namibians.
The Namibia Wildlife Resorts NWR Manager for Corporate Communications, Online Media and Sponsorship, Mufaro Nesengano, in a media statement on Thursday said due to the significant number of submissions, they ended up selecting 10 social media influencers to take part in the program set to run from the 1st of July until the 31st of October 2021, during which they will generate travel content for their followers as well as the NWR social media followers. He said the chosen influencers each bring a unique aspect that will greatly benefit them and do not only include the established influencers but individuals that embody their values and most importantly have something unique and innovative to offer. Nesengana said, "It is unfortunate that our industry was negatively impacted by COVID-19 because we would have wanted to enumerate each influencer for the time and transport cost that they are going to put towards the realization of this program. We are thus very grateful to each one of them for accepting our offer and seeing an opportunity to further build their brand with us."
It's time for the Economics Roundup. That's all the top news we had for you this evening. Kindly stand by for tonight's sports update with Shelva Wells.
Thank you, Salima. Good evening and welcome to Sport Planet. We commence with local athletics news. After being withdrawn from participating in the 400-meter and above races at the Tokyo Olympics Games, Beatrice Masilingi and Christine Mboma will turn their focus on the 200-meter race. The two athletes' coach, Hank Buerta, confirmed this in an interview with Nampa Today, saying he received communication from World Athletics on Thursday that the two athletes will not be allowed to participate in the 400 and 1,600 meter events because they allegedly did not meet the World Athletics eligibility regulations for female classification. He said the athletes have gone through various tests over the past few weeks, which showed that both Masilingi and Mboma have high levels of natural testosterone, thus they cannot compete in these races. However, he is waiting for the full report for a more detailed explanation. Jordan Pickford says he would happily swap personal accolades for a Euro 2020 winners' medal as the in-form England goalkeeper prepares to make history in Saturday's quarter-final against Ukraine.
Pickford has been one of the unexpected heroes of Gareth Southgate's team during their march to the last 8. After a turbulent season with Everton, during which the 27-year-old was dropped during a run of costly mistakes, Pickford has found redemption in the European Championship. His superb display in Tuesday's 2-0 win against Germany in the last 16 featured two crucial saves before England took the lead. Pickford has kept 4 consecutive clean sheets and can surpass Gordon Banks and become the first England keeper to have 5 successive shutouts at the start of a major tournament if he does not concede against Ukraine. But while the praise is nice after a difficult domestic campaign, Pickford would much rather be able to hold a winner's medal in his hands after the final on July 11. "There would be nothing better for me than to win a medal with England," he said when asked if silverware trumped individual success.
Your sports roundup is next. That's all the news we had for you this evening. We thank you for tuning in. Give us a thumbs up and share. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Also click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Until next week Monday, from myself and the rest of the crew behind the scenes, it's good night and have a pleasant weekend.